one of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
You're in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the Crushers and Annie Barton winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie eight, then that little putt from Annie Barton on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. It's Ferrall on a bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible, hanging out. The bad seed, a broken, a bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up shadooba, along with the golf gangster himself, Carver High, this afternoon. Mafia running it with Luke. I am Ilhada. He's back from his debauchery weekend. Again, this guy Luke with just constant debauchery weekends. Bachelor parties, weddings, Russian bathhouse. Are we on the air? We are. Don't talk about okay. Anyway, the lineup for today. This guy. Keep an eye on this guy, Luke. He's always up to something. I'm watching you, Mister. Morency from Vancouver, a double shot. Look who it is. Chris Domino from the Fan in Atlanta, hot town Atlanta. We'll talk bad about their teams for a few minutes with Chris today. Plus, unbelievable, Coach James Young will be on to talk about the Olympic team playing the Germans today. It is unbelievable. I think they're tipping off right now, as a matter of fact, on Fox. I may have to change channels. I'm watching Rodon pitching a gem in the boogie down. Plus, Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider. We're going to talk about everything on this show. Per usual on a Misery Monday. Carver High, good to see you. I was texting you during the final round of the greatest major, the Open Championship, where they declare the champion golfer of the year is Xander Schauffele, who wins his second major. He won the Ferrella Maker. Then he tied for seventh at Pinehurst. Then he won on the final day at Royal Troon, his second major. This guy has done it all. I think the 89th guy to ever win two, and a rarity, two in the same year. This guy gets it done. Now he is rock star status on tour. The question begs, is he or is Scott Scheffler having the better year? Scheffler, the Masters and the Players, and 4 other tournaments. Xander, 2 majors. I got to go 2 majors wins, even over 6 titles.
Yeah, no doubt. And happy Monday, Scotty, indeed. Back from the weekend, and Xander Schauffele, a big winner at Royal Troon. I side with you. I think that 2 majors, because it's so rare, and I'm going to give you those numbers later on here on Coast to Coast, it is so rare to get 2 majors in the same year. And Scheffler's been unbelievable. 6 wins this year, a lot of them elevated events with, the best players in the field. The 4 majors are the ones with the best players in the field, because that's where you truly now have the PGA guys and the LIV guys together in one spot. I think it's Schauffele, and you left one out. He was top 10 in Augusta, too. He's the only guy this year to finish top 10 in all 4 majors this year. So that's the kind of year. You talk about rising in the big events for a guy that we talked for years, when is this guy ever going to win anything?
Right.
And he won something in a big way. Winning 2 majors is rock star status, as you like to say, for the rest of that dude's life. And I'll bet you this too. I'm sure he ain't done. That's how good he is, and he's still young enough that I'm sure. Now, he ain't gonna win 2 in a year every year, but he'll get another one in the next couple of years, maybe even more.
What's
that's how
weird about him is how icy cold he is on the golf course. Like nothing, barely any emotion, but he's not a D. He just absolutely has this look like, I am so calm and I am not fazed by anything. He has this look about him like, I'm going to win.
He's a laid back, cool, Southern California kid from San Diego.
That's San Diego State, boy.
That's who he is, and look, we talk a lot about these guys. We wish a lot of them had more personality. We say it about Scheffler. I think he's kind of in that category also. He doesn't really give you a lot out there on the course. He doesn't have the big quotes like Rory and Spieth and these guys that get a lot of attention. But he's going to win a lot more than they've been recently. That's what Xander Schauffele's been doing. And sometimes that's all that matters. And he's opening up a little bit. Seeing him win these 2 majors, I used to not stand this guy. But he's actually opened up to me a little bit with winning. And maybe that changes your personality a little bit too, Scotty.
How about that golf course, that back 9 of that golf course?
That's what you love. And you talk all year about that. When we watch and we talk Mondays about who wins and what their score is and what it looked like, you always yearn for the Open Championship because you want the test and the weather and all of those things. And boy, did you get it this weekend. And
how about number 11?
The only time you didn't get it was the back 9 yesterday with the leaders coming in. That was the nicest conditions they had all week.
Right.
And they all started scoring and making birdies on 16, 17, and 18 coming in because it stopped raining and the wind stopped. Right. But, man, the worst of the weather was when my guy, you talk about blowing up.
Lowry
on Saturday. What a disaster. I mean, dude. 2 doubles. He bogeyed 5 out of 6 holes.
Couple pints of Guinness can do that to a guy. I mean, you have Friday night.
He's yelling at all the people out there. Get out of my way. Another guy with a camera. He hits a guy with a ball. Shane, relax. All right, you played awful on the back 9. You played awful on the back.
Have another pint. How about number 11 when Schauffele hit that iron from the fescue within a foot?
That was the moment. I'm not going to lie to you. I had no shot. I had Schauffele for a top 5 before the tournament. That was all that I had on Xander. I had nothing on him to win. There was a moment where he hit that ball in the fescue on 11, and I had a little bit of Rose I added at a good price and a little bit of Lawrence, and I was kind of waiting my spot for Xander. And when he hit it in that thick fescue on 11 is when I said, all right, I think this is going to be our chance. If he messes up this hole, gets a bogey, does something, we're going to have a chance to jump on Xander here, maybe at a 4 or 5 to 1. When he stuck it on the flag out of that fescue, it was over. Shut the door. Guy went to like minus 250 after that.
Right.
Like it was just gone away, the live odds for him. So congrats to Schauffele. We'll talk about that a lot. You mentioned the Yankees, bottom of the 7th at the stadium. They're up 5-1 on the Rays right now, and a really good pitching
Soto
performance.
just hit an upper decker.
Wow, Soto makes it 6-1 for the Yankees. How about that? 24th for him. I hope it takes him as long to get around the bases as it took that clown Siri on the Rays before.
He's doing it right now. He's literally walking. He's walking around the bases.
Did you see that clown on Tampa, Siri, when he hit the homer before? Stop at third base, point at the crowd. He was doing a whole dance out there. So I'm glad Soto's doing it. I'm watching him go around right now. He's doing it. Good for him.
He's doing it.
Give him the business, which is outstanding. We love to see. So 6-1 Yankees, 424 feet for Soto there. And we also have live. How about a live Monday? Some stuff going on live on a Monday. The United States final tune-up before they start playing for real on Sunday in Paris. And this will be against Germany this afternoon. I believe they are, when I sent it this morning, Scotty, they were 14.5.
15
point
and a half.
favorites. 15.5, 14.5.
Yeah.
I know one thing. There it is, 15.5. Better play better than they did on Saturday against South Sudan.
Listen,
Look
I was
out.
actually pulling for that Sudan team to win based on how well they played, and Jones, how that guy played, had a triple-double. All I know is they had a great last shot and then a follow dunk missed. They should have won the game. That was insane, 101-100. What a wild game. Is the U.S. in trouble? We'll see.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Next up is Tampa, who was very impressive last year with Baker Mayfield, Evans. They hooked up a ton, and they've already shown what they can do, but they're picking this team, the Falcons, over them. Explain that to me.
Baker Mayfield's back. Mike Evans is back. Where a couple years ago, you really wondered if he finished his career as a Buck, but the Bucks wanted him to do that, and he's going to do that. He signed a 2-year deal for about $21 million a year.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They scored well. They defended like crap. Last game, they struggled to score. They defended great. We still have not seen the best out of USA basketball. So they showed they've won different ways. They still should win absolutely the gold medal. But they're playing with fire a little bit.
BetMGM is swinging for the fences. The best place to bet the long ball all season long. Out-of-the-park odds on home runs. Exclusive signature bets. And a weekly shot at your share of $50K in bonus bets. Enter the $50K Grand Slam jackpot. It's on.
All right, you can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 along all of our outlets. In other words, all the TV stations, all the streaming networks, all the radio, terrestrial side on Sports Byline USA and Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio in San Diego, and Sirius XM channel 159 on satellite. And you can catch Morency every day on Coast to Coast. Thank God, a double shot. So you heard Embiid criticizing LeBron, who will be carrying the flag for the U.S. when they open the Olympics in Paris. Everything, that guy gets everything. His kid gets drafted. He gets to carry the flag. He's like...
I got a big problem with him carrying the flag, Scott. I actually do.
Why?
Because it's an insult to actual Olympians. Like, I think there should be like a requisite. If you're going to carry the flag, you need to at least sleep in the Olympic Village. How's that sound?
And not in a Four Seasons?
Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to carry the flag. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to the Ritz-Carlton. You guys can sleep on those little cardboard things you got in the village. Have fun with that Olympic thing here.
No sex.
I'm leaving as soon. Yeah, I'm leaving as soon as our basketball's over. You know, I've got nothing to do with the Olympics. I'm a pro basketball player, but hey, why not let me carry the flag? But hey, the Olympic Commission were the ones that they're the ones that voted this. I was wondering, I'm like, how about Noah Lyles? I don't know, how about a track and field? How about Katie Ledecky? How about actual Olympians that train in obscurity all the time,
right?
And actually like live for this moment that represent the Olympic movement, as opposed to a pro basketball player, Scott. But hey, why not?
Is this his fourth Olympics?
I'm surprised they don't let Bronny carry the. Well, you know what, Bronny, let's
or Bryce,
but
or his wife.
But you know what? I guess it's his. I think it's his third, Scott. He's a 2-time gold medalist.
I think he was 3, the bronze and 2 golds.
Oh, is there a bronze in there?
I think there's a bronze in there. And
so
2
I'm saying
golds.
2-time. But so he has been an Olympian before, and it's his last Olympics. I was like, you got to be kidding me, LeBron, LeBron of all people, you pick LeBron to carry the flag. Like, of all the Olympians that worked their ass off, but
seriously,
that was the thing. They wanted to thank him for his Olympic service and his past. And it's his last Olympics.
Whatever. No, listen. I was thinking about it when I'm with you. Like, I'm not. I was like, really? They're gonna let him do it? And then I went like this. I was like, I thought to myself, I was like, who is more important in this country than that guy? Like, everything. The guy. I'm surprised they don't have footage of him sleeping in his house. His son. They cover his son like he was Dr. J. Now they're covering his other son. I'm surprised they don't have live 24-hour cameras on his house.
And meanwhile, like Scottie Pippen's son's a badass. Going to be playing in Michigan this year, actually. Like real players.
The LeBron thing's overcooked. Like I get it, but I think they actually believe in this country. They actually believe he's the most important person in this country. I believe this country believes that. I think they, like, more than anyone else, it's LeBron James. We have to know what LeBron is doing today. Like, it's unbelievable to me. I just don't get it, what the fascination is. I think he's an incredible, just absolute badass basketball player. He's broke every record known to man, but at the end of the day, that's what he does. He plays basketball. Like, what else does he bring to the world? Like, what is he? Like, he's making documentary shows. I mean,
it's the modern,
why is he so important to everyone?
It's the modern media and fan, Scott. They have people talking, this team is more talented and better than the Dream Team. Yeah, I don't think the Dream Team won South Sudan by 1, bro.
Yeah, no, they aren't.
I remember them beating Angola by 58 and people getting mad because Barkley was dunking in people's faces. And they were like, dude, we're up by 60. You got to do that? Yeah, we got to do that. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We're going to kill everybody by as many points as we can. And that's what they did. But how about this for Joel Embiid? Number one, I don't know, Joel Embiid on the U.S. team is just weird to begin with, okay? He could have played for France. He pissed France off. Now he's talking bad about France and said, I didn't play for France because I was scared my family in Cameroon would have been injured. Like, he's all over the place, this guy. So this is Joel Embiid. Sounds like a great teammate here, Scott. This is what he said. This is what he tells the New York Times over the weekend. You look at the talent that the U.S. has, but there's equal talent on other teams. And the talent that's on the U.S. team, you also got to understand, most of these guys are older. The LeBron now is not the LeBron from a couple of years ago. It's a big difference. Everybody will tell you. You can see it for yourself. The athletic LeBron, dominant that he was a couple of years ago, is not the same as he is now. I think people get fooled by the names on paper. But those names have been built throughout their career, and now they're older. They're not what they used to be. Dude, what team are you on? This sounds like he's on another team going, I'm not scared of the American team. He's on Team USA. This is the craziest thing ever to me.
And he hasn't done anything yet. Like he hasn't looked good, right? Like,
no,
so
dude, he's been terrible. He hasn't fit in. He's mouthing off. He thinks it's an NBA game. He's pouting. He's been a problem for them. Everybody knows AD should be on the floor. Bro, people want to punch Steve Kerr in the face right now due to his like stupid lineups. I warned everybody coming in. I said Kerr's going to defer to the old guys. Embiid's right. Embiid's right in a way. Dude, he's not going to piss off Curry. He's not going to piss off LeBron. KD can barely walk, bro. He's like Durant. Durant and Kawhi.
Do you think LeBron is a better player than Embiid still today?
He's more consistent. He's 40 years old. At least he stays on the floor. He stays on the floor,
up and down the floor and throws
stays
down
on the floor, bro,
anyone.
every night. Say what you will about LeBron. The son of a bitch shows up every night, bro.
Every night.
Yeah, he
and
does.
he gives you 25 points every night.
So,
and
yeah.
He gives you dimes, rebounds, block shots. Embiid, I saw him run today. I almost fell over. That he ran. And tonight at 8 o'clock, I run more than Embiid. And I'm slow and old. And I had an open heart surgery. And I still run more. I saw him run today. I almost fell over. Like, I've never seen the guy run. He walks up the court. We got another shot with Moreno, like you read about.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
It's very exciting, and really, if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week. I feel like when this wind at this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this was one of those days for me, so I relished it. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often, or certainly I don't. So, I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
So, Morency, the U.S. Barely won that game against Sudan on Saturday, 101-100. And I was literally rooting for Sudan. I mean, they were 43-point dogs, and they kicked their ass the entire game. And then the U.S. finally passed them, and then they couldn't finish them off. And they were up won, and Sudan had a chance to win the game. I thought Jones got a good shot off, and then I thought the follow dunk, he just missed
They had
the
the
dunk.
putback opportunity.
He went up to dunk it, and the ball hit the rim going up, and he jimmied it. The rim went. All I know is I was pulling from. My question to you is this: when you saw that game, and you've seen the way they've played, are you convinced at all? Because you just told me you think Canada-U.S. in the final. Are you convinced that the U.S. is all that?
Yes and no. I think you can look at it like LeBron said after the game. He goes, hey, that was great. We got tested. That was really, really good. It's like, bro, you were 42-point favorites against a bunch of dudes from Sudan. And guys from Toronto. One of the guys that went off is from Toronto. A Sudanese dude lives in Toronto. Like, you know what I mean? He's popping threes on you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you could say, okay, it was good you got tested. You can also say, well, we're going to get tested again. And, yeah, you already beat Serbia in an exhibition. Good for you. It doesn't matter, right? It's different now. Like France going 0-4, and Canada didn't play SGA much against the USA and Jamal Murray in the second half.
Matter.
Exactly. Now it gets real. I think the U.S. is up for a fight, Scott, and I would not be shocked if they lost. I would not be shocked if they lost along the way. But with that being stated, it's all matchups, and I get the feeling Canada seems to have no problem with anybody, Scott. Like they beat Greece and Giannis. They covered. It's like, all right, we'll play France now in France. They beat France. They just beat Puerto Rico yesterday. They didn't look great against the U.S., but that was the first game. But yeah, I think Canada's locked in and will be able. There's bets out there, guys. You could bet without the favorite who's going to, take the U.S. out of it. There's odds out there that Canada lose in the title game at plus 500. So you can get Canada to win the tournament at 11-1, and you can just do that and try to hedge, or you could do both. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Canada at 11-1 to win, and I'm going to take them at plus 500 to lose in the gold medal game. Stage of elimination, that's what it's called.
Yeah, interesting. I wanted to get your thoughts on the Dodgers sweep of the Red Sox. Ohtani's blast, 473 feet. And did you see, I saw a story that he's pulling in already $100 million a year in endorsements.
You know what? He was already making 50 plus on the Angels before. So look at, what his career is just exploding, right? Think about that. He's making 170 mil, Scott. 100 from endorsements and then 70 mil per year on the field. The Dodgers needed that. The Dodgers needed the All-Star break. They were stumbling into the break. They have 10 players, 10 starters on injured reserve right now on the injured list. Absolutely just beaten down by injury, but a massive way to get the second half started, get some confidence going. If you'll notice right now, Freddie Freeman started to dial it up a little bit, guys. And he's hitting the ball hard, right? Freeman was good. Freeman hitting 285 is struggling, Scott, earlier in the year. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with Freddie? He's only hitting 285. Well, now Freddie's starting to dial it up a little bit. And I never really had a problem with it, Scott. Having Mookie Betts out, having Yamamoto out, they're going to be more rested when they come back. No need to run him into the ground. I was always worried about Yamamoto's arm, Scott. He didn't pitch that much in the Japanese league. He was managed as far as innings. I don't think he ever went more than 120 innings before. So I don't have a problem with this. I'd rather Yamamoto miss most of the season and then come back in mid-August, September, and be ready to go for the playoffs than get hurt in September. So I think everything's fine. Dodgers, Phillies are on a collision course.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So most of the vets report tomorrow at NFL training camps. Just about all of them open up. What do you think of that?
Oh, I can't wait. You know what? Not this Thursday, but next Thursday, we have the Hall of Fame game. We'll see Caleb Williams' professional debut. And I'm starting to fire away, Scott. College football rapidly approaching. Really excited for it.
Are you kidding me? College football. I looked at a thing today of every single FCS team playing against every FBS team the entire season. And just the first weekend alone, that 0 weekend, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those 3 days, Sunday, whatever even, there's 50 games. It's insane. And just seeing it got me going. I was going crazy. I'm look at all these games. I can't wait. We'll see you tomorrow, Morency. Have a good show tonight. SportsGrid.
one of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
I feel like when this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and Anibal winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie, then that little putt from Anibal on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
BetMGM first bet 1500 is sick. Everyone loves it. Everybody's talking about it. People can't even go through their day without reacting to it. How do you get it? Well, it's in 4 easy steps. 1, download the BetMGM app on iOS or Android or go to BetMGM.com. 2, sign up. Deposit at least $10 into your account, and then you're rocking. 3, place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. You heard me. 4, if the bet loses, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. It is crazy. The BetMGM first bet 1500, $1,500 back in bonus bets if your bet loses. You can bet up to $1,500, and it's just a free $1,500 from BetMGM. It's beautiful. All right, Carver High. We were talking about the Dodgers with Morency. Yeah, they swept the Red Sox. Bad start for Boston out of the break, and then they go to Colorado to start a set tonight.
Yeah, the Dodgers, Scotty, of course, they really struggled going into the All-Star break. Well, they made it a point to come out of the All-Star break on fire, and they did just that, and they're going to get a bunch of their pitchers back this week, which we'll talk about in a moment. But first, they hit a bunch of home runs against the Red Sox last night. I'm not sure any of them in distance added up to the one that Ohtani hit. This thing was an absolute rocket. Ohtani last night, number 30 on ESPN.
Ohtani, right field, forget about it. A massive shot. Wow. 473 feet for Shohei Ohtani. The Dodgers' 5th home run of the night.
Listen, I don't dispute how exciting and how good this guy is. There is no questioning that, right? I really want to emphasize that. But here's the deal. Willie Stargell hit the ball out of Dodger Stadium twice. Twice he hit it out of the stadium. It literally landed in the next county. My man hit that up to the beer vendor, Ohtani. Okay, so, they act like he hits these home runs like they're the greatest home runs ever hit. They're not. I mean, Willie Stargell did it twice. That's all I have to say. So we know why do you think they called him Pops? Okay? My man had some pop off of his bat. That's not why they called him Pops. But the reality is this. He hit the ball further than Ohtani did. He knocked it out twice. The only guy to ever do it. Knocked it out twice. And just because you hit the beer vendor, you're not a badass until you do it twice out of the ballpark completely. Because that ballpark is enormous. And if you hit it out, you are a badass. And that's what Willie Stargell was. That's why they got a statue of him outside of PNC in Pittsburgh. He was a guy, and I'll never forget some of the shots I've seen in my lifetime. Like Dave Kingman used to hit him. I mean, Dave Kingman hit home runs that are still flying. And he's been out of baseball for 35 years. And the ball's still flying in the air. Like he hit balls to the moon. So there were guys back then I thought that hit the ball further than Ohtani does. I mean it. I'm not even there. Don't get me started. I'll go through 15 other guys that hit it harder than him. I'm sick of hearing that he hits bigger home runs than anyone on earth. Okay? That's my point. I think he's a great player, but he's not the best home run hitter I ever saw in my life.
Let me tell you, that one, there was a couple this weekend, honestly. In fact, the one that Judge hit yesterday in the Yankee loss, which went out to left field, and it doesn't get talked about because the Yankees lost, to hit it up in the top of the left field bleachers, that's a shot at that new Yankee Stadium. That is an absolute rocket, if you could get it out there. In fact, I know they don't measure it probably at 473 or whatever the hell Ohtani's was, but to get that up there in the left field bleachers at the new Yankee Stadium, that is a challenge. And Judge did that yesterday, but the Yankees lost, so it didn't get as much fanfare, and it wasn't on Sunday Night Baseball. So plenty of guys.
They hit 6 last night, the Dodgers,
yes,
6 of them. I watched the game. There's nothing else on. I watched it. It was boring.
Of course, he's going to get a lot of his money, pretty much all of it, at the end of his career, all that deferred money that Ohtani's going to get. The reason he could do that, Scotty, is he gets about $100 million annually in endorsements after that Dodger contract. So,
I mean,
you're
honestly,
swimming in money. Your boy Ohtani going to have plenty of it. The good news.
That is. I said that to Morenzi, like 100 million endorsements a year now, and he was making 50 in Anaheim. So all you had to do was drive up the freeway a little bit to play for the Dodgers, and you're worth double the money.
They are going to get some help this week. Tyler Glasnow will come back off of the IL on Wednesday to pitch against the Giants, and Clayton Kershaw will make his first start of the season on Thursday for the Dodgers. Of course, Yamamoto not going to be anytime soon, but all they care about with him is being right for October. As Gabe was saying to you, Yamamoto and Betts, take your time as long as they're good for October. They're getting rest, and that's really all that matters. So a really good start.
What do you think Kershaw will give him?
Nothing. I think Kershaw's washed.
I do too.
I think he's finished.
They just can't let him go. It's unbelievable.
They don't want to let him go. He's Dodger blue through and through for his whole career, and that's great. I think that's awesome, but he's finished. He's got nothing left.
They do the same thing with Earl Hershiser. They did the same thing.
Right. And I don't listen. He probably won't pitch for anyone else. Whenever this ends, it's going to be the end for him. I remember there was always talk, he's going to go to Texas or he's going to go here. He's going to finish with the Dodgers. He would have left by now. Kenley Jansen's not going to go with the Red Sox to Colorado. That's because of his past heart issues. Can't go up in that high altitude. That happened when he was with the Dodgers too, Scotty. He never, at the end there when he was with them.
Yeah, I don't understand that. What happens to the heart? I don't get it.
Whatever his condition is, he can't go up there. So that's.
I've heard that before with football players that can't play there.
Yeah. So no Kenley Jansen, and they can't replace him on the roster either. So they're short a man.
I told you.
Yes.
The first time I ever went skiing in Colorado, I went to Breckenridge and I drank. I probably drank like 12 beers. Right out of the gates, land, get to the resort. I start hammering beers, and literally within 2 hours, I had the buzz of someone that drank 40 beers. Like the altitude got me with the 12. I had 12 beers, and you would have thought I had 40. I was falling down. I was slipping on ice. I hit my head. They had to carry me to the room. I hurled for 4 hours. Are we on the air?
Yeah.
So, yeah, high altitude does strange things to tennis balls, noodles, beer drinkers, and people with bad hearts.
Very does to all those things. The Yankees are going to win today, of course. It looks like they're up 6-1. Yesterday they lost 6-4. I mentioned that Judge Homer. Boone was ejected for the 5th time this season in that loss. And they made this big deal before the game that they were benching DJ LeMahieu, and they had him out in the hallway doing the press conference with the reporters. What, it last a day? The guy played today. Why did they make such a big deal about benching DJ LeMahieu?
Honestly,
and he had his first homer of the year today.
Okay, so and he had a
2
great
for Soto. Soto hits his second of the game into the right field
25.
seats. This time, a 3-run shot, 9-1 Yankees for Soto. He's moving a little faster around the bases.
All right, let's go back to LeMahieu for a second. So
yes.
He had a great play at third today, and he hit a home run today. And it doesn't matter. This guy, you can't even explain this to me. This guy is hitting 177. He is the worst player in the history of the Yankees now. No one's ever hit 177. And he won multiple batting titles. What happened to that guy? He broke his foot and he forgot how to hit?
Off the gas.
Off the gas. He was on the high lead, the high test.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50-year-old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and Annie Brown winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie eight, then that little putt from Annie Brown on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
Our good friend from Atlanta and our source for everything in Atlanta from the Fan in Atlanta 680. Chris, good to see you as always. What is it like seeing the Braves suffer through all these injuries and watch the Phillies doing what they're doing? Because it was always the Braves that were owning the division, the Braves that were the best team. And then they'd lose to the Phillies in the playoffs. And now the Phillies are better than the Braves, and the Braves have all these problems.
But think about this. They win the World Series in 2024 and do the 10-year reunion in talk about all the things that went wrong until they went right. It'll be a better story if they're able to do more than they've done the last couple of years. 2021, there was no expectation because they weren't a very good baseball team. They were a very good baseball team. They're talented now, but less talented. And we know Philadelphia is going to make a play. Scott, listen, I know you know the game of poker. My analogy is you're playing poker, but your hole cards are up because everybody knows you need a starting pitcher. They know you want a corner outfielder. Ozzie goes down, and all of a sudden you might want an infielder. You don't get to play the cat and mouse game that usually comes with poker. You don't get to bluff anybody. Everybody knows what it is you want. Fewer sellers than really ever before. So Alex Anthopoulos, who's pulled off some good ones, it's a different set of circumstances to try to go make this team better by the trade deadline.
So you're not you don't think they can catch Philly? You're just get that wild card, get in
care.
And see what they do.
Yeah, I can tell you back in February, I went down to Florida and I said, I don't care. It's just another little banner they hand up on a light tower, like in February, that says you won a division. It's a certain color. Could care less. That has not necessarily paid the bills around here with one World Series and one World Series going back to the old days with 14 straight divisions. Nobody's conceding anything, but I don't think anybody really cares at this point because we've seen the way it can be played with Arizona, Texas, and a whole bunch of other teams recently. You don't have to be the best team in baseball to play in the World Series.
What about Chris Sale? What's it been like watching him dominate?
Personality-wise, he's everything you could ask for. I love the fact that he apologized to the Red Sox organization and Red Sox fans because it didn't go well the last few years. This version of him has been a blast to watch. First half Cy Young Award winner. If there's a first half comeback player of the year award winner, he's that as well. Scotty, he's such a different guy on game day. He's got presence. He's never, you know the story with him. He's never shaken off anybody in his life, ever. He's never shaken off a catcher, ever. Because his whole thing is, I want to throw with conviction. Every pitch has to be with 100% conviction. If I think he thinks we're not on the same page, I might throw it at 80%. He doesn't think that's really good for any pitcher to do. This has worked really well for him, and he's obviously healthy again.
Chris Domino with us from the Fan in Atlanta. Always good to have him on Coast to Coast. The Falcons have Kirk Cousins and some lofty expectations in Hot Town and around the league and with bettors. I mean, they're getting all the action in that South.
Yeah, look, it's hopefully addition by subtraction because for all, I'm not a shot taker. I don't really want to ready, fire, aim on guys who are out of town, but it didn't work with the last head coach who was supposed to be an offensive genius. If this was the play card, this is what it looked like every day on the sideline. Bijan Robinson was non-existent. You certainly didn't do anything to help the quarterback out over the course of the year. So this group being in, including with Zach Robinson, the OC, here's the good news, bad news. It could be so good this year that you lose Zach Robinson. He becomes a head coach someplace else. But I'd love for it to be that because that would mean you're going to the playoffs. And I do think with Kirk Cousins, anything short of that, plus with the new system in, plus a new defensive coordinator, this team should be better than they've been for the last 5 or 6 years.
So everyone down there is stoked that they got Cousins?
Oh, yeah, look, they knew that they needed an upgrade. Desmond Ridder just drove people crazy. He drove the building crazy, too. Nice guy, just wasn't ready. Marcus Mariota a couple of years ago up and quit. It has not worked around here since Matt Ryan's heyday, obviously. Kirk Cousins is a bona fide. He was as good as anybody in the league the first half of the year before he got hurt. This guy smells like 30-10. You go 30-10, Bijan Robinson becoming a factor in this thing the way he wasn't last year. This is a team that, look, the defense isn't great, but they might outscore you 30-24, 28-24, and everybody around here will take that now.
So my Steelers got Art Smith to be their offensive coordinator, and I wanted to jump in the river. What do they think of him down there?
Oh, listen, I didn't want to do this, but Coach Moron. I mean, play sheet guy. This was a disaster. I've never seen a guy get a job because he could do something, and all of a sudden forget about Bijan Robinson, not pimp Kyle Pitts to be a better player. Never really used Drake London. It was amazing around here, Scott. I'm not kidding. Listen, I don't know what he'll be back as an offensive coordinator. He wasn't a guy who on game day could run the whole ship. Guaranteed, because that either was too fast for him. He didn't figure things out in 3 years, how you win NFL games as a head coach. He might be better going back to the OC, but nobody around here is really going to miss what they didn't have, which was an offense that was supposed to be better.
So the Kirby Smart Bulldogs are everyone's feared team in college football, favored to win it all again, favored to win the SEC again. 23 players popped for reckless driving or speeding or causing trouble. I compared it to Dukes of Hazzard on this show and Daisy Dukes and the General Lee. I said, if I lived in Athens, Georgia, I'd drive fast too, and with a whiskey bottle hanging out of the passenger side. What is the season going to be like for them with these expectations that they never lose a game ever?
Yeah, so not making the playoffs last year could end up being a really, if you play that game of you tasted it. A bunch of guys still here have tasted winning. Last year, not being in the playoffs, I'm sure burned them. This is a really good coaching staff. It's a really good recruiting machine. The driving thing has just gotten ridiculous. I'll push that aside for a second. This idea of Texas and Oklahoma coming in with no divisions, people might not know that. There are no divisions down here. Now, some schedules are going to be harder, some are going to be easier. Oklahoma's already claiming that they got the harder schedule than Texas did. But I think it sets up for 3 teams certainly being in part of the 12. You don't have to win the division. You don't have to win the SEC championship game. No divisions. You can be the 3rd best team in the SEC or lose that game, and still I'm assuming you're going to get in. There are people that have visions of 4 teams being part of the 12-game playoff or 12-team playoff down here, and that's not unreasonable.
Do you think that Ole Miss is the 3rd team or someone else?
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is probably the one. I think LSU's probably got a shot, even though they lose the quarterback.
Just that. The great quarterback that won the Heisman. Chris, great stuff. Always good to see you. All the best to the family.
All right, Scotty.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind at this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and Anibal winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie eight, then that little putt from Anibal on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
Day camp special today in the Boogie Down. All the kids were there from all the camps. I saw like 80 different colored shirts in sections. The kids screaming and yelling, having a blast. And 9-1 Bombers. Soto hit 2 home runs. One of them a towering upper deck shot to right, which is like you hitting a wiffle ball in your driveway to the mailbox. It's really easy to hit them to right field. But like you said, Judge hit one in the upper deck and left. That's hard. But they won today, and Rodon finally looked good. It only took 2 years.
Yep, and a split of the 4 games with the Rays to start off the race to the finish for the Yankees, right out of the All-Star break. So 2-2 to get things cooking for them.
And what do we have, the under 97.5?
Yes, we do. We're watching also this USA-Germany game. Quite the sequence just now before the break as Embiid completely facialed some dude up at the glass. I mean, just destroyed this guy who was going in for a layup or a dunk on the Germany team. And then the transition to the other end where Ann Edwards completely smashed it on some guy on Germany. So USA starting to roll a little bit here, Scotty, in this Germany game, their final tune-up before they play for real on Sunday.
I think they got up by 9 or something like that. It was 4 and then 5, then 7, then 9. So they've started to look a little bit better, but I'm not sold yet on overall how they look. Like I haven't thought that in any game they look good in any of these tune-ups.
I'll be more concerned if they looked lethargic and sloppy against the games for real, like starting Sunday, like these group stage games. Like when the money starts to get put on the table, that's when I'll start to get nervous, because these games, I just don't know how invested they are mentally in these exhibition games. I'm not sure. So now if they play like they have been Sunday when they started, what is it, Serbia the first game, right? They get the Joker again in Serbia on Sunday. Then I would be more on your side with maybe they can be beat. Because as of now, I still don't believe it. I don't care what happens Saturday against Sudan in that game. I don't know what the mental focus is. All right, let me give you a few more.
It was hard. Hold on. It was hard watching anything. I just wanted to say, besides the Open Championship, like I liked that Sudan game. That was and like nothing else in sports could compare to Royal Troon. I am sorry. No. Like, if I had my way. Now, how about this? The seniors are at Carnoustie this week.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good, links golf, that, the only place really, there's been a couple, Whistling Straits and then the Kiowa in the States that are great links courses, right? But they don't play them. And all I know is I'd rather watch old men play golf on links courses that are 50 and 60 years old than watch the crap tournaments that the PGA puts on compared to links golf and Royal Troon or Carnoustie. You heard me.
Now, I'll tell you this also this week, and of course, we talk about this a lot because we're involved with it here on the grid. Liv is in London this week, Scotty. Liv is playing in London. I forget the exact course where they're going to be, but they're going to have a links course too. So Liv playing the links as well. They're staying across the pond to get that going. So that'll be a good show.
And a lot of guys are going to the Olympics to play, like Xander Schauffele, right? Like, do you think he'll win a gold at the Olympics?
He is the defending gold medalist. He won in Tokyo the last time. So that's been his one big win before this year. The U.S. will have Xander, Scheffler, Morikawa, and Wyndham Clark. Those are the 4 Americans who qualified for
and
that.
And then what? Rose won one in Rio, and he
Justin Rose.
Is he back in it again? I think he is. No, he's at the 3M this week.
He's at the but I don't believe Justin Rose qualified. I think England has Tommy Fleetwood. And I would and Tyrrell Hatton, I believe. I would have to see who exactly is the England
is the 3M the 2-sided, double-sided tape open. Double-sided tape I used to fix everything. Who needs duct tape when you've got 3M double-sided?
This isn't quite a jabroni tournament because you have a couple of names in there, but these next couple weeks are quiet,
Open
on the PGA
the double
tour.
tape open.